What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Indy Sooner and the JP and Trav show. It's your boy JP, and as always, to the right of me, I have my good friend and co-host Trav. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Just got back into town from Norman. Uh, had a big, busy day. Audience rent stuff, radio stuff, all kinds of fun stuff. So, yeah, excited. I mean, even on the drive, we got news popping up. So it was a big news day, obviously, with the tailgating stuff. And then we got flips. We got Joe Klatt saying stupid stuff. It's been a full day of shenanigans. We'll call them shenanigans.
For sure. Well, guys, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you save your questions till the end when we do our Q and A. We may, add a couple here and there, but mine and ours will answer questions at the end. So make sure you save them. We always appreciate you guys being on here with us. So, looking forward to the future of the JP and Trav show. With that being said, Trav, talk a little bit about, what you had just mentioned about some of the tailgating news that came out from
Yeah.
Oklahoma today.
Yep. So obviously we've all probably seen the Eddie video of the Make Lindsay Street Great Again that they put together, and kind of went with the retro shirt look. That's really cool. Reminds me of some of the old school fraternity shirts that they used to have, but to no avail. They brought back tailgating on Lindsay, but they commercialized it. It is extremely corporate. You have white tents that are all the exact same. So you have white tents, either 10 by 10 or 20 by 20. And you pay anywhere from $350 to $2,100 to get your spot and get your tent. That doesn't include any of your booze. That doesn't include any of your food. That doesn't include bringing a grill or a smoker or whatever. Doesn't include bringing a TV. I mean, the $2,100 one comes with like the Vizio TV package or whatever, but it's not good. I mean, it's not what anybody wanted. And we're going to the SEC, and people want to tailgate, like actually tailgate. The problem is it's going by way of like Jerry World. Like you walk into Jerry World, it seems very commercialized. There's tons of suites everywhere. Everything's got a big Miller Lite logo on it, or got a big, whatever sponsor, they've got going on Ford or whatever, right? Well, that's what it is. It's commercialized. It's sterilized. And you don't have, you go down to an SEC game, and you've got, people pulling out fried alligator, eating them out of bathtubs they brought out there under fences, chandeliers hanging from trees, like just madness. And then you come to Oklahoma, and it's like, okay, you've got this little area, and it's all, it's going to be bought. I'm sure like MidFirst is going to have one. I'm sure like OG&E is going to have one.
Yeah.
Or I know like all the commercial sponsors. I'm sure Love's is going to have one. Like
Mm-hmm.
all these, and then they're going to be like, hey, who's going out there? Can we send, they'll be like, oh, hey, I've got tickets. We've got our tailgate set out, and there's going to be empty tents because it's going to be sold to corporate. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Tailgating, is all about being over at the Sooner football fans tailgate
Right.
over at Brooks and Jenkins. That's the move.
Yeah.
Or better yet, pregame with KREF. That's what we'll be doing.
Now, I'm leaving all the tailgating to you because obviously I didn't grow up in Oklahoma. I didn't get to go to a ton of Oklahoma games all the time. And when I did, when I was younger, obviously I wasn't tailgating. But one thing that is nice about having a sister that goes to OU and that a track and field athlete, she obviously is around that scene at the games and stuff like that. And so one thing I am interested is to hear from her. Now she's back on campus. She got back yesterday, and to see, what the students are thinking of everything, and how they want it to be affected. So definitely appreciate your perspective as well, because I know that that was a big thing with you and what you're going to be doing this upcoming season. So for sure. Where will you tell the people where you guys will be again after each home game?
After each home game, we will be at Yo Pablo in Campus Corner. It is on it's the old 747 for those old school folks that maybe haven't been to Norman in a while. But old 747, new Yo Pablo, will be right in the door. You won't be able to miss us. And then pregame, we should be down there as well. So we'll be pregame in the Campus Corner area. We're getting locked in, super easy to find. And then afterwards, we'll be at Yo Pablo in Campus Corner. So come hang out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, let's get into some of our topics for today, guys. First one, I got to come up with the cheesy taglines: "One ring to rule them all," as in that rule. what What do you make, Trav, and everybody that's here in the comment section? What do you guys make of Matt Rule not naming Baker the starter yet, even though by all accounts in Carolina and everywhere else publicly behind the scenes, he's clearly the leader in the clubhouse? Do you think it's detrimental that they're splitting reps at this point, or do you think that he's actually creating a competitive atmosphere by having those split reps?
I personally think it could go a couple of different ways. Obviously, the comment section is agreeing with this. So some say, well, it's trade value to boost the trade value for Darnold. But the thing is, nobody's trading for Sam Darnold right now. They're not taking $18 million. They're not. The Panthers would have to eat a ton of it. He is infinitely less valuable than Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield still didn't, get a. I mean, we can get into that argument another day, but it took a while for him to get traded. This late in the year and this close to camp, I mean, you really can't do anything. Nobody's dumb enough to trade for Sam Darnold. I don't know a team that would be made better with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. The jury is out on like the Giants, maybe Seattle, some of the teams you heard that Baker might go to, but Darnold he's no good. So they're gonna pay him this year. It is what it is. He's gonna be the backup. I know Matt Corral being the backup would be nice to see what you have as a rookie, but Baker is by far the better quarterback. It's been obvious. You're starting to see one of my favorite things of Twitter right now. One of my favorite things is the Carolina media and bigger accounts, like the Carolina culture, all that kind of stuff. They're all coming around on Baker, and maybe not coming around. Maybe that's a bad term, but like they're seeing the light. They're like, oh man, I know, he's really growing on me, man. His leadership. This guy's got a good zip on the ball, man. He's accurate. He's helping out. We all saw the clip of him, showing Matt Corral, like if you set to the out, he's like, you don't have to reset to go back to the in. He's like, you're talented enough just to hit the in, but your feet are placed to hit the out. Stuff like that. It's clear that he is the not only leader from a competitive standpoint, but an actual emotional locker room leader. The reporters are even saying, I don't see I haven't seen this energy around the locker room in a while. I haven't seen, the offense be this excited. I haven't seen the locker room really vibing or the sideline really vibing. That's what Baker does. That's what Baker's always done every place he's been. So when it comes to Matt Rule, he is not fit to be an NFL coach. Simple as that. He is trying to play this and because Darnold's his guy. He advocated to get Darnold in there and make the trade, and it hasn't worked out at all. So I think he is just stubborn, and he wants Darnold to win because it means that he was right when he wanted to trade for him. And there are some of these coaches and GMs often they tie their anchor to one guy. It's like the big decision is if I get this guy. You see this often with like first draft picks and whatnot. Like if I tie my anchor to Sam Darnold because I'm the one that brought him in, and I end up costing this franchise money, wins, draft capital, everything, reputation, all that, then if he goes down, I might go down with him. So there's definitely something to be said for having his guy be Darnold. But what I'm worried is we saw it in the preseason game against the commies. I'm going to call them commies all year because it's dumb to name a football team the Commanders. Everybody shortens everything. The commies are what they're going to be called. So they had the center quarterback snap exchange was terrible. So what solves that? More reps with the center. What solves the miscommunication throw down the sideline? More reps. Like he already came in, he missed OTAs. He already comes in late. He's going to be the starter. And Rule is still robbing him of reps. Like you need those things. So I think I agree with Taylor. I think Baker's a long-term answer for Carolina at quarterback. I think they've got a chance to have a salty secondary, especially if J.C. Horn stays healthy. You've got DJ Moore, who looks like having great chemistry with Baker off the bat. And then if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, this team can make the playoffs. And my God, if this team makes the playoffs with Baker leading them, is there anything he can't do if that happens? Whew, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think, JP?
I mean, I'm ecstatic about where Baker's at, the situation he's in. I think Carolina's, when you look at their roster, they have a chance to be pretty decent. Their defense is pretty good. I believe they were top 10 in total defense last year. And hopefully J.C. Horn is healthy again this year. And then you look at what they have offensively. I mean, they have a guy who's when he's healthy, he's a top 5 running back in the league verbatim. Some might just say top 3, just depending on his 2019, 2020 season. So you also have DJ Moore, who's one of probably the most underrated receivers in the league. And some probably say a top 20 receiver. You got Robbie Anderson, who's a burner. Obviously Rashard Higgins there, who has that connection with Baker. You got a brand new top 10 left tackle that they just picked up from the draft. You got Bradley Bozeman that came in, Austin Corbett. So, I mean, you have an opportunity right in front of Baker to really, really take this team and elevate them and make them winners, just like he did in Cleveland. Doesn't mean they're going to win a Super Bowl, and I don't think they need to win a Super Bowl for it to be considered a successful season, even though that's what people will tell you in the media, is that if you don't win a Super Bowl, then your season was not good and you suck.
That's what Texas fans say. They say, "Oh man, all those Big 12 championships, but no natties, no natties." What did all those? What's that last 10 years get you?
Yeah, facts.
Well, it got us a lot of Big 12 championship trophies. Facts. Didn't get a bunch of coaches fired, but
I didn't know if you saw earlier in the chat. I was wondering. I was like, man, it's a little light in here compared to the last couple of weeks. And somebody told me that Brandon and Parker are going right now. And
yeah,
like, dang,
those punks.
I was like, they're gonna do. They both been on the show. They know Wednesday nights is us, but it's okay. I can forget.
That's all right. We still love them.
I know they got important stuff to talk about. So
yeah, I'll shoot them a text. I'm gonna shoot them a text right now. I say, man, y'all know I wonder why our numbers were light. You guys coming after us.
No, it's okay. We get it. They're the big wigs. Got to let us shine a little bit.
Right. Text them.
All right, let's move on. Well, Trav is texting the boys. Let's move on to our next segment really quick. South of the border, south of the Red River, we've seen that the University of Texas has unfortunately, and some would say fortunately if you're a Sooner fan, if you want to think that way, but obviously unfortunately for the Texas Longhorns, they've been banged up with some injuries this last week, some injuries on the offensive line. You had Isaiah Nayor, who was a guy that was coming over from Wyoming and that was had a great year last year and was expected to be paired with Xavier Worthy and to be that one of the best 1-2 combos in the nation. Obviously, he tears his ACL, goes down, and that makes their offense instantly less explosive. And they're already young and not experienced on the offensive line, so to lose the guy that they did on the offensive line, who I believe he was a junior. His name's escaping me right now, but he was a junior, and they need that, especially with
No, his name was Junior. He is a senior.
his
So
name
even
was
worse.
junior, but
His
he
name's
was
very
senior.
confusing. Very
Yeah,
confusing.
that is
Like
confusing.
like freshman Anderson, he's a sophomore. Junior, he's a senior.
Yeah,
So who's on third?
yeah,
So
facts. But yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's tough because to your point, you lose a veteran on the offensive line. And that offensive line was Swiss cheese last year. Well, I mean, they're going to be starting multiple true freshmen,
mm,
but they're all worried about the receiver. Guys, stop worrying about the receiver. It doesn't matter if you have all the best receivers in the country if you don't have time to get them the ball.
I mean, you couldn't be more right with that. I mean, I've said that for years. You can have a Ferrari, but if you ain't got an engine, what it matter?
Yeah, exactly. It does not matter. And then if you got a boot on your Ferrari, better not take it off.
Facts.
That's illegal. You will be arrested.
So, Trav, with that being said, and everything that we know now, what do you think their chances are of having a repeat of last season, a 5-7?
I think their ceiling is 7 wins because I truly think that they do not have the defense and they do not have the offensive line. I mean, Quinn Ewers put out this big coming soon announcement coming up on the 19th. So on Friday, it's not anything with the team because he wouldn't he would announce it like that. I know, I just know it's an NIL deal, and this guy is going to have more NIL deals than starts. Um, and that's the thing. They don't get it. Like, there's a fundamental misunderstanding for Texas fans. It's your quarterback keeps on getting richer. You keep on giving these kids all this money. You don't focus on culture. You take Alabama's problem children away from them. And then, shockingly, they're still problem children when they get to Austin, a place with terrible culture. And they're going to celebrate whatever NIL deal that Quinn announces some big win. Oh, yeah, man, being Texas's quarterback, you're so marketable. Okay, well, he can't separate from Hudson Card right now. So,
Yeah,
come on, man.
yeah, yeah. Which is, I mean, for as much as they talked, for Quinn Ewers to be as highly rated as he was, and again, I get Hudson Card's a highly rated quarterback. Trust me, I do. But to not be able to separate is just it's ridiculous. I mean,
You know what you have. Like, you know what you have in Hudson. He played last year.
yeah,
So you know what you have. His family, they're big time boosters. So the Card family gives a ton of money to the University of Texas. You can't say that doesn't have some type of influence. It has to. That's the only thing they know. Like, the language they speak is money.
yeah, yeah, and it's been their entire culture, and NIL hasn't made it any better.
No.
So, we know what it is down there. Injuries or not, I think that they probably were not going to have too great of a season, as good as a lot of them were thinking. I know there's reports that the defense looks better. I had to see it to believe it, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, I have to see and believe with everything at Texas.
yeah,
Because the thing is, they have the talent. And speaking of defense, Alfred Collins is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. He's their starting edge rusher.
is he? I didn't hear that.
Yes, he's
Oh
going to be
man,
out 4 to 6 weeks. So you've got another guy missing Bama. I'll tell you what, don't sleep on UTSA. The Roadrunners, meep meep. They're coming for him. Meep meep, baby. Like, UTSA is they're not a good team, but they're not a team you can sleep on. They're going to be out Roshan, Nayor, Junior. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. He's the offensive lineman. Alfred Collins. Ajay Hall. There was talk about one of their safeties getting injured too, but regardless, they're going to be all those people.
Yeah.
UTSA, just watch out. Just watch out. Watch out for the Roadrunners. Meet, baby.
Hey, we might be looking at a Jackson State, what was it? No, Jacksonville State, Florida State situation.
Oh, man.
You never know. Could
Hey,
be like
UTSA is a lot
Georgia
better
State,
than
Tennessee situation with that. You don't know, and the UTSA is better than both those teams were. So Texas better hope that don't happen to them because you already know how OU Twitter is going to be.
Oh my God, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. Yeah.
All right,
but I'm glad we're getting on the UTSA train. I like it in the chat. meet. Let's get it.
Meet. Let's move on to our next segment really quick. Fake love. The AP poll ranks Oklahoma as the highest ranked Big 12 team and number 9 for all college football. Our question is, do you agree? And my question for you, Trav, is, do you agree? Obviously, we've heard for months and months amongst some public media that they didn't think Oklahoma was going to be anywhere near what we were last year, and we lost a ton.
I don't want to be where we were last year. I want to be better.
I agree. So do you think, my question for you is, do you think that it's people blowing smoke and the AP poll voters had this in their head the whole time? Do you think it's separate, the AP poll separate from what the media have been thinking all along? What's your thoughts?
I think it's interesting. I think it's fair. I think 9 is fair. I do think Baylor should be higher, personally. Mm-hmm. But Baylor is very they're very Utah-ish, where I don't know if you remember Matt Campbell saying 5-star culture beats 5-star talent.
Yep.
Well, he was saying that about Texas, which yeah, they have a bunch of 5 stars, but again, their culture is like a 1-star. So, like, you can say that against Texas and beat them. Perfectly fine. But Baylor has 5-star culture, and they have 3-star players, 4-star players, a few maybe here and there. Very similar to Utah. Incredible, system they've got there. They play really well. They're very tough, very physical. But they have a ceiling. Yeah. So I feel like this is fair for us to be the highest ranked Big 12 team because our ceiling is so much higher. You have to think we have the 4th ranked roster according to blue chip ratio. We come in at 71% of our roster being blue chips, these being 4 and 5 stars. And then when you have any over 50% of the roster is 4 and 5 stars, you have a chance to win a national title. There's 15 of those teams this year. Baylor is not one of them. But so from a talent perspective, we should be there. And then from a coaching perspective, Aranda didn't get a call to coach OU. Whoever their offensive and defensive coordinators are would not get jobs at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
The standards are different. The coaching is better at Oklahoma. And I'm an Aranda guy. Like, I'm a big-time Aranda guy. But I do think I do see where they're coming from putting us above them just because I think our ceiling is so much higher. We have more talent. We have better coaching.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I agree, man. I'm okay with 9. I think, honestly, it's reasonable to me, not knowing what you're going to get from OU, but I think it's enough respect to who Brent Venables is and the staff that he's assembled to put OU at 9 and the highest ranked Big 12 team, right? As opposed to, again, what we had been hearing, which was, OU's not recruiting well and Brent Venables unproven. If we're going off of what a lot of media said, we should be in the 20s, right?
Yeah, we should be where Texas is, which is unranked.
Unranked, exactly. Even though people was blowing smoke up their butt, we just we know
number one vote in the coaches poll. Number 1 vote.
Crazy. That's insane to me. I don't know who did that.
Those votes should be transparent.
I
The
agree.
AP voters, all their votes are transparent. The coaches poll should be transparent.
Yeah.
You should be doxxed for putting Texas number one.
So,
Sorry.
I don't know who
Sorry.
did that. What are you watching? What film are you watching?
I make stupid decisions, like giving Texas number one vote. You're going to get doxxed. Sorry.
No, straight up. Yeah, no. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the year. I think that's a healthy number to start off at. Sure, you could say you could look at it and maybe BV can use it as disrespect. I don't know if he will or not, but you can use it that way. You could also use it as a sign of respect a little bit to, again, Brent Venables and who he is, even as a first year head coach, losing everything we did and to still come in preseason.
Well, he said in the press conference, he said, "Look, we've got a formula, we've got a plan. I've coached in half the national titles over the last 20 years." I'm like, "Oof, get him, coach, flexing on him." I mean, damn. He's the only person besides Saban, I think, that can say that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
He's a football guy, and I think the only question a lot of people had was, could he recruit? That actually know football was, could he recruit? And I think that he's answered the bell.
Hell yeah, he can.
Just,
Hell yeah, he can.
He's about to finish with a higher class than Riley ever did.
Lincoln Riley was right. Lincoln Riley said he couldn't assemble, a championship roster at Oklahoma. He's right. He couldn't.
Yeah.
Others can.
He didn't have the goods. He didn't have the juice.
Didn't have the goods, bruh. Sorry.
Sorry,
Soy boy. Go out west.
Oh, that one got me. That one caught me off guard. Oh, soy boy. All right, hey, let's get a little bit of a camp report from Trav. Trav, what have you heard from camp? Who have you heard that's doing pretty well? Obviously, we know our boys, Brandon Parker, are probably giving a really good spiel on what they've heard and seen. But anything that you've heard about how camp is going?
I'll take the high points. So, first, the offensive line has been the most impressive and best unit on the team, which is interesting because last year they weren't. Last year they were getting pushed around a little bit. They weren't very strong. They were doing these damn ballerina workouts and kettlebells and shake weights and whatever. So they have a real strength and conditioning coach now. So the offensive line is killing it. You know how? Remember when we were doing our defensive back breakdown, position group breakdown, and I think you said, let's see, who did you say would be on the opposite side of Woody? Did you say DJ Graham or did you say Josh Eaton? I forget.
I think I said DJ Graham was the only one I could really see.
And I remember I said Kenai Walker. Well, we're both going to be wrong. Jaden Davis is the leader for that spot across from Woody. Yes, that Jaden Davis, the one that came in as a true freshman, balled out of control, and then we've not seen anything of him since. If Brent Venables was not head coach right now, he would be in the portal. But he knew that he was getting a new lease on life. He really liked Valai. He just really liked what he had there. So that's, I think, the biggest shock of camp is Jaden Davis being the other starting corner, or at least leading to be that other starting corner. Yes, Billy Bowman has looked fantastic. He has been called the most consistently best player on the defense. The dude's a playmaker. I want him returning kicks in special teams. The dude is a monster, and he will run over. He will truck whatever kicker he finds after he gets to the next level. So, big fan of what Billy Bowman's doing. Yes, Topher, Justin Harrington, who I've always been a proponent of. Him and I talked a lot when he was in the portal about kind of his plans and whatnot. And keep in mind, this guy could have gone and got on a scholarship somewhere. He could have gone wherever. I mean, save for maybe 10 schools. he could have gone somewhere, got on scholarship, and had free school. But he told me, he said, if Brent reoffers me, I want to be back at OU. Well, he didn't reoffer him a scholarship, but he was like, hey, you can come walk on. And apparently Harrington has been a man on a mission.
Yeah.
They said he came back bigger, stronger, faster. Like basically he got the Captain America serum while he was in the transfer portal and came out of the chamber. All the smoke comes out. Here's brand new Justin Harrington. He's been a leader. He's been vocal with the younger guys. And he told Gentry, Gentry and I went out. Shout out Sweet Lisa's. If anybody has ever been out to North Tulsa and had a little Sweet Lisa's, we went by there and he said, Justin told me he's going to the league after this year. Like he is going to go to the league after this year.
Wow.
And he is the perfect cheetah until, eventually Jaden Rowe probably takes that position. And I know some of us do this, like there are 11 positions on defense. And I know everybody's like, well, this person would be a perfect cheetah. Let's get Jaren Kanak a cheetah. Let's get J. Rowe a cheetah. Let's get our like. And not everybody can be the cheetah. Jaden Rowe is the perfect cheetah.
Yeah.
You get 6'3", 220, run, Olympic type, not Olympic quite, but in the 100 state champion speed. And yeah, so Justin Harrington's going to lock down that cheetah role. And to the PG show's point, yes, I do believe we get one of those tear-jerking videos where Justin Harrington gets on scholarship. Because I think, well, it depends. He'll be the rest of the year. I wonder how the numbers would shake out. But you have to think, I don't know what TD Roof's situation is going to be after he had his likely season-ending injury. Unfortunately, that does affect linebacker depth big time in a position with the most demand, with TD Roof being out for the season now, which is unfortunate for him. He's a sixth-year guy. He came to play for his dad. He's playing at the biggest program. He's that elder statesman in the room. He's seen it all, done it all type of situation. He's been in like 4 schools. So big bummer for TD Roof. But again, situation for somebody else to step up. These freshmen are bigger and stronger than freshmen have been in the past because they've had Schmitty. I mean, Gavin Sawchuk was allegedly going to not sit out, but like redshirt because, he didn't come in with the early enrollees. Well, apparently he's put on a ton of muscle. Apparently he looks like a college athlete now in like a few weeks, it feels like.
Yeah.
But I think TD Roof personally getting to coaching just might as well. I mean, he's not an NFL player. He's undersized. Yeah. He's like 5'11". He's not going to play linebacker at the next level. Like at some point he needs to get the coaching career started if that's what he's after. So Jake, I don't know if he's going to come back for year 7. We're going to have to start making TD Roof jokes like we make all the old man jokes like Perry Ellis at Kansas. That dude was there a decade.
He was there for 15 years, it felt like. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I was on Locked On Sooners last night with Josh.
I know. I saw Josh at the studio today. He's like, we had JP on today, man.
Yeah.
Andy Sooner. I'm like, man, you taking my guy.
It was fun. But yeah, I mean, we talked about TD Roof yesterday too, and the same thing. It sucks, but I think it will provide some opportunity for some other young guys in that room, like a Shane Whittier, obviously here, and Jaren Kanak may slide over in there or be in that linebacker position as well. Young guys that could potentially prove their mettle with a guy like that being out. And so, looking forward to seeing what they do. But no,
at minimum, there's a clear path to playing time now.
Yeah. That's. I agree with everything you talked about, obviously, and obviously, you and I chatted about a little bit, and just seeing some of the stuff that Brandon's wrote up on what's been going on in camp, and it's exciting to hear that some of the guys and Trav, you and I have talked about this for I don't know how many weeks. That since BV has been here, it's been like a kind of a referendum for a lot of players that have been buried on the depth chart that are
Yeah.
now
New lease on
getting
life, baby.
right. It's new life for them. They're getting a new opportunity. It's full sin. You know, it's not about what happened before. You just got to go out there and prove it and show up. And you know the results are what they are. So I'm excited to see, you know, who comes out that first week when we get that depth chart release. That'll be a big week here. Sure, we'll
Oh,
talk
can't
about
wait.
that ad nauseum once we get that depth chart.
Can't
Hopefully,
wait.
there won't be any oars on there. You know, and
Right. Please no.
please, please,
Please no.
please, no oars. So yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, guys, it's time for our patented game, this or that. Got a couple fun questions for us tonight. One of them has the potential to be very spicy. It's not this first one, I'll say that. All right, here we go, Trav. First one: Blake Griffin or Trey Young?
Okay. The argument for Blake Griffin obviously is he has he's continued, not that Trey hasn't continued with OU, he's a different part of his career, but Blake Griffin donated the money for the training facility that OU now plays in. That's absolutely gorgeous. Blake and I were actually freshmen together at OU. We got to watch, so funny story, we got to watch Steph Curry for the first time ever downstairs in the dorms in McCaslin. So I lived in McCaslin. There are TVs with couches right there. So we walk in, and um, he's dating, I guess we'll call it, a girl that was in the dorms right there. So she was waiting, like she had to walk up and let him in. So he was just waiting down there, and the dude is hilarious. So he sits down next to me, and I'm just watching basketball because a couple of my roommates were studying and whatnot. And, not that I wasn't studying, mom and dad, but we had kind of like messed up our suites and in the dorm. Like we moved all the bedrooms into one, and then we moved like all of our desks into. Anyways, it was very weird. But anyway, so I was downstairs watching basketball because they were doing whatever, and um, we watched Steph Curry for the first time. It was the first time Blake Griffin ever saw Steph. So
Yeah,
he's like, "Man, that boy's good." I'm like, "Yeah, dude's awesome." He always used to park his like pewter, like champagne colored Denali like in a bush, like right outside the dorm right there. I'm like, "You ain't gonna get any tickets. It's Blake." But yeah, I'd have to go Blake. I really would. And you know, the local. I mean, he's continuing to have his golf tournament there. He just had Heffley and him. They were all at the golf tournament there. He was such a great ambassador for Oklahoma. Lots of personality. Um, Trey, I will always love Trey specifically. I own Trey's Bar and Grill, so I don't spell it like that, but it's close. But the Trey's like villain role has been so much fun. Like, I'm not a Knicks guy. I don't.
yeah,
I mean, if you're not if you're not a full blown like New Yorker, you're not just like casually liking the Knicks, especially at our age, because they haven't been good since we've been watching basketball.
yeah,
So outside of John Starks from Tulsa, but with Trey just single handedly taking on a whole city's worth of fans, they had them crying in the streets, but Trey was just the perfect villain. Trey's a perfect villain. Blake is comedian, relaxed, athletic freak, like fun dude, like all that kind of stuff. And Trey's just the guy, he's just a villain.
yeah.
He is an absolute villain. He's cocky, he's talented, but it's I don't know, they're both very fun to watch. It's a good
Yeah.
question.
No, I agree.
What's yours?
Mine is Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin is probably, besides Baker Mayfield, my favorite OU athlete ever.
Wow, I'm so
I'm a
Grayson that.
I'm a big Blake Griffin guy.
He said, Grayson, get out of
Well,
here,
look,
bro.
look, look. Grayson is gonna get there. You know, he's my guy. I know him, but You know,
Mm,
we these
haven't had any dance offs with Blake.
you know what I mean. You're right. Don't twist my words. But no, man, Blake Griffin. You know, I am a. While I love football, basketball is my first love. It's what I played right through high school, right. And I, you know, my family's a basketball family, so Blake Griffin was the first kind of OU athlete that I saw, you know, in the basketball realm at least, dominate. And so, you know, followed him to the league and to see what he does. Are you serious? Is that for real? Did you see this?
I didn't. Hold on.
Have you seen anything related to that? Because if that's
Um,
true, I would love to talk about that. That's if that broke while we're on air.
let me see.
I just got tagged in something by Jake, so let me see. It says sources tell um, Jeff P. Howe, Jeff Howe, that Baker Mayfield is expecting to be named the Panthers starting quarterback for Week 1.
Expecting.
Look, that's what it says. Now, look, it's not confirmed, but you know that's what they do
There's
before.
high level journalism right here.
But hey, I mean, it's what we expected. You know, we didn't expect for him not to be. But and my wife who is watching me right now,
Yeah,
watching us
the
right
Joe
now, just
person.
called
The
me out.
expectation, as it has been since they acquired him, is that Baker Mayfield will be the Panthers starter.
Yeah, I mean,
O Carolina Panthers debe definir o QB Baker Mayfield como titular na semana. That's from Endzone Brasil. For those of you that
Trav,
all of our Brazilians in the chat.
I'm impressed by the way you just read that. I had no idea.
All right. Well, they're getting. It's they're expecting. I'm waiting for something official. What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, we're all expecting. We're all expecting it. I mean, you know, it's tweeted out. If Jeff Howe's, you know, confirming or whatever. But all I know is I got a lot of people that's gonna eat crow once that comes out because I was arguing with a lot of fans early in
Who was legitimately arguing that he wasn't going to win the job though?
no, it wasn't that he wasn't gonna win it. I'm talking about before he even got traded. The fans that said he's gonna be a backup.
Oh, he's not a starting quarterback. Right.
That's correct. That those fans because they off their rocker.
See, but the Portuguese, Brian,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
See, Portuguese is the same as Spanish, is the same as French and Italian. It's all Latin based. It's also, if you know one, you can read or understand the others. You all good, all good.
yeah. But so let me go ahead and finish my little Blake Griffin soliloquy. My wife just texted me and said they tried to call me out. I didn't say Blake Griffin was my favorite. I said besides Baker Mayfield, he was because she's like, you look up Baker Mayfield stuff every day. I know I do. I'm an admitted Baker Mayfield super fan. That's out there. Okay.
Also, Baker's been in the news a ton lately. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
he has. Back me up. Back me up.
yeah.
But no, man, Blake Griffin. He's just done so much. Not only obviously for you know OU, but obviously just in his own right in the NBA. I mean, if he didn't have injuries, I've always said I fully believe he was probably going to be a Hall of Famer just based off of the number of All Star appearances that he had.
If he
Um,
would have stayed with Chris Paul his whole career, I truly think I agree too because Chris Paul was perfect for him,
yeah.
absolutely perfect for him.
hmm
As
No, and
Chris
they
Paul is perfect for a lot of big men, but
yeah
Blake Griffin had the athleticism that nobody else had, so he made Chris Paul's job so much easier. And man, just he'll always have some of the most iconic posters.
yeah
I mean, whew,
yeah. Yeah,
incredible.
no, I agree. But yeah, so I would say Blake Griffin. Trey Young, I
I,
think, is on a good trajectory though.
I don't know if I'd agree with you that Blake Griffin is just so much cooler than Grayson Halton. I don't know if I'd agree with you there,
Hey, don't
but
I did that never Those words never came out of my mouth. Grayson is my
I
boy.
don't
He
know.
knows he's my
I
boy.
like Grayson a
I
lot. I
let
mean, I don't.
Me and Grayson chatted yesterday. We're cool. We cool. He knows he's my boy, right? This is young
Awkward.
JP talking. This is teenage JP talking, right? So all right. The next one. Here's the fiery one, Trav. Okay,
Oh
we
boy.
talked about it before, and maybe before this week you may have had a different answer. I don't know. Would you rather have Gus Johnson and
Oh,
Joe Black call your game, or would you rather have Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler call
bro, give
your
me Kirk and Fowler all day. Give me some adults.
game?
Give me some adults.
Trav, tell everybody what's going on with you and
I
Joe,
love
man. Why you
I
got beef
love
with
me
Joe?
I love me some Gus. But man, Joel has just he's gone the way of Colin Coward. Colin Coward and him are buddy now, and they're too busy worshiping at the altar of Lincoln Riley. Okay, so Joel Klatt released his preseason top 10. I get it. Preseason polls don't matter. But they show biases and agendas. Joel Klatt works for Fox. It is very important to Fox that USC carries the LA market. So USC is in his top 10. OU, the coaches poll, they're in the top 10. The AP poll, they're in the top 10. The Josh Pate JP poll, they're in the top 10.
Yep.
The blue chip ratio, they're in the top 10. Everything that, we look at is in the top 10. Not in Joel Klatt's, though. Not in the top 10. He even said about Texas, he said, I would have put them between 15 and 18. They're definitely one of the top 25 best teams in the country. Really? Because they went 5-7 last year. They lost 6 straight. USC went 4-8 last year. And guess what? They got a shiny new receiver. They got a shiny new quarterback. But guess what they don't have? Offensive line. Guess what else they have? The 98th ranked scoring defense in the country is returning. And yet they're a top 10 team. Get out of here. All of it. Out of here. So I feel bad because Gus is fantastic. Gus has given us some of the best calls that we've got. Most notably, of course, who is this kid? Where did he come from? The Hollywood Brown nickname, everything through Gus will always be great. But Joel just selling out entirely. I'm done with Joel. Done with Joel. Gus is great. Herbstreit and Fowler, they're it's the reason that they're more of the industry standard of the big time games, right?
Yeah.
Herbstreit and Fowler, they're the ones that have the bigger jobs, ESPN, college football playoff, that kind of thing. Joel's gonna go call USC on Big Noon kickoff as they got their teeth kicked in by Wisconsin in week 3 here in a couple of years. Have fun. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah. Have fun going to East Lansing in December.
Jesus.
At some point.
Without Malachi Nelson, without Mekhi Lemon, without Zach Branch. Yeah, have fun, buddy. Have fun.
Ugh. Yeah, man. I was a big Joel guy. And I just think that, like you said, it seems that he's gone one way, and it's disappointing because I really like them as a combo. I do, and I would still say, here's what I'll say. I think I would rather have Kirk and Fowler just because of the whole experience I get with them, but I do like the combination that Gus and Joel bring as far as if we're just talking about broadcasting purely, as far as obviously what Gus brings to the table, just announcing wise. I mean, he's one of the best that there is in the game. It's like a Dickie Vitale for college football, if you will. He just the way that he does it, he gets you in the game. And I do love Joel, the way that Joel breaks down things
breaks down to his bosses. Yeah.
And I think he does that really well. And that's something that, again, not that Kirk and Chris weren't good at it. I think Joel is better at it. I can't talk right now than they are. But I think, like you said, from a production standpoint, the standard is definitely Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler. Like, Saturday night college football.
Yeah, and Fowler can go to Wimbledon and not
Yeah,
miss a beat.
yeah, exactly. So
I
I
mean,
agree. I think I would probably go
Fowler's
with
man, like
Fowler.
Fowler's one of the more underrated cats in this industry.
I agree.
Like very much so. Like when you think of big time announcers, like you think like growing up for me, it was Musburger. Like Musburger, Weston, to my point, like Musburger was always my go-to. You're looking live, like that zoom into ESPN over the crowd to say, "You're looking live, in Norman, Oklahoma." Like, and then he would always give gambling tips before you could talk about gambling on TV. You weren't allowed to talk about sports betting, but
Yeah,
it'd be like, all right, next week we've got the double header.
yeah,
We've got Oregon and Oregon State. Take the over. And we've got Michigan and Michigan State. I like the Wolverines to cover there. Like, and he'll just say all that. It's like, yo, Brent, you're not allowed to say that. But he was, I love me some Musburger. There's no
yeah.
doubt. But yeah, given the choice between, the sellout and Gus or Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit, I'm going with the adults.
Going with the adults in the room. Wow.
Mhm.
Cleveland Browns.
Right.
All right. Our food question for the day. One that I'm surprised I haven't done on here before, but here we go. Taco Bell or Taco Bueno?
Interesting.
Which one we're going
Interesting.
with? And for those of you who, for whatever reason, I know some of my friends watch this show. Taco Bueno is an actual place in the southern Midwest and South. It's an alternative to Taco Bell, and some people think it's better. So I'm not gonna say whether
Man,
I do or not yet, but just saying.
I I think I'm gonna go. Hey,
Oh
hey, hey,
man.
family friendly show. Hey, family friendly show.
Ooh, man.
Um, I would say I'd go Bell. I know. Good lord, there's no Bell in the comments. So I'm going with Bell because I like the old Crunch Wrap Supreme. Personally, I like it, and they've got the Baja sauce. I'm a big sauce guy, so uh, I'm going with the Bell. Now, Bueno to me used to be better. I'll tell you what, there was a Bueno and a Waso that was like the best the best fast food restaurant I'd ever been in. Like for something about it. I don't know what they did differently, but it was right off the highway. I mean, it was like a 30-minute drive from my house. But anytime like Union played at Owasso, me and my guys, every time we would go early so we could go to this one specific Taco Bueno that was always so good. But other than that, man, I'm going Bell. Like it is what it is. And then the thing about Bell, so I'm gonna so stay with me here. It's gonna get a little hairy.
Okay.
So Taco Bell, they're innovative. So there's a in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, there is a Taco Bell that is built. It looks like a bank.
Mhm.
So there are 4 drive-through lanes. One is for oversized vehicles, so you have 3 regular ones. One is specifically for like DoorDash, Uber Eats, like rideshare pickup. The next 2 are just regular orders, but there's no dining room. So there's no yes, Cam, the one that was on 86th Street. So I hope it's still there. I haven't seen it though recently. So with with that, so they've got the kitchen upstairs and they cook it and then they just put it on you're familiar a dumb waiter for those of you that don't know is like a tray that you put food on and then it's on a pulley system and you're able to change levels of the food. So what they do is they put the drinks, everything right there. Boom. They understand drive-through traffic is cheaper. You don't have to have public bathrooms. You don't have to have cleaning staff to clean the dining room. You don't have to buy the chairs and tables. You don't have to do anything. So they have just kitchen up top. Boom. They put it in, and there's no dining room. They're innovative. That's what I like. I can trust a company that's innovative, trying to move forward into the realm of no dining rooms, drive-through only, and they have ghost kitchen capabilities. So ghost kitchens, for those of you that are unaware, became a bit more popular during COVID mostly, but when like some of the restaurants on DoorDash and whatnot aren't full-blown restaurants. So what they'll do is they'll start ghost kitchens and they'll actually have a different concept. So like there's a pizza place here that has like a wing concept and they still sell it out of the pizza place, but you can't walk in and order the wing restaurant's food. What you can do is order it online and then they make it and get it to you. So this Taco Bell, they got ghost kitchens going on. Bro, they got oversized rides. They've got ride share, all kinds of stuff going on. So Taco Bell, final answer. Crunchwrap Supreme, innovation, sauces. It's all you need.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I think Taco Bell just even obviously you can say they have the national um, gig over a Taco Bueno, but just when you have something, when you take something off a menu and you put it back on the menu and it gets sold out, I think that says what type of establishment you are, right? The Mexican pizza,
Yeah.
that's my jam. I hate that they're out of it right now. Frustrate me that they took it off in the first place. But I like Taco Bueno. I'm not gonna lie. I will say I didn't really recognize if it was nostalgia or if it was just like um, maybe Taco Bueno has fallen off in the last 10 or so years. Because I remember, I make my annual trip to Ardmore when we were, living up in Indy and everything like that. To see all my family, and when we'd be in Ardmore, me and my cousins would go to Taco Bueno, and we'd also always get some muchacho nachos, and they would always slap. And I remember, um, and I will say, let me preface this: I did go to Taco Bueno when I was down there for my father's funeral, down in Armour for my father's funeral last year. It's not because I was sad. Obviously, I was sad, but I'm not saying that the reason that the muchacho nachos were bad is because I was sad. They were just bad. Like I literally went to Taco Bueno and was like, "Yo, let me get some muchacho nachos," and I grabbed them. The beans were trifling. They tasted burnt. The meat was disgusting, and they put like one or two tomatoes on there, and I was just like, "What is this?" Like, and granted, I know I went to Taco Bueno in Ardmore, so you can say whatever. But I'm just saying that's the one I always went to. So
Well,
that was
sometimes in
nice.
those smaller towns, they're better because it's like one of the only restaurants. So, like, you're not getting the worst restaurant employees. And not to say that there are any bad restaurant. I get that. Like, but sometimes, like, you're not getting the cooks that want to cook, but there's no like nice restaurants to work in. So
Yes.
it cracks me up. Like, first of all, we're not talking about Ted's. That's a sit down restaurant. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about like I get it. Like Tarahumara is like yeah, it's not. We're not talking about that.
It's this
What
or
I
that.
like
You
is
choose one.
we've got like 30 comments about Mexican food, and Jimmy Satterfield rolls through with who's QB2. Like,
I'm dead.
hey, let's get back to it. Jimmy keeping us honest. Thank you,
Hey,
Jimmy. I
thank,
appreciate it.
thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for keeping the chat honest. Um,
QB2 right now, it's the people that are working with the ones in practice are Bevel, Booty, and Nick Evers. I think it'll be Booty. You hear a little bit of each. But yeah, I mean, Evers probably has the most arm talent. Bevel has played at the highest level. He's played in a Year's Six bowl, and Booty has the best name. So you've got those three that have been working with the ones. That'll be what a lot of eyes go to on the depth chart.
mm, gotcha. Hey, let's move on to our Q&A portion really quick. We got about 5 to 10 minutes before we're going to head out here. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it. We already answered the GB2 from our boy Jimmy. Matt Bingham asked, "Will we see Kelvin Gilliam this year?"
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think
Yeah,
so.
Kelvin Gilliam's put on a lot of really good weight. Dude's wildly athletic. Wildly athletic. So definitely we'll see Kelvin Gilliam this year. And I think he's gonna keep in mind, I mean, he's he had an injury last year. He was in a boot for a lot of the year. So didn't get to maybe develop as much as normal redshirt freshman would, but he's
Mhm.
or normal true freshman would, but he's a redshirt freshman, still got a ton of time. He's gonna have a big career at Oklahoma. I think part of the things is like we have to understand like true freshmen and freshmen like don't typically play, like never play, but like shaking up the roster a little bit. These guys have Schmitty, so they don't look like freshmen. So I do think he will play, but even if he doesn't play much, it's fine. He's still a redshirt freshman.
Yeah,
Like, that's fine.
the second year. With Nelson, Lemon, Branch, Bowen, and Keeley, are USC and Notre Dame class about to implode? I don't think Notre Dame's class will implode, but USC's class
When
is.
you look at implode, you're like, okay, like things got real bad.
Mhm.
If Bowen and Keeley both decommit, obviously Keon Keeley already decommitted, and he's Bama bound. This has been in the works for a really long time.
We've known that.
Um, I do think that Notre Dame will still finish like top 8, top 6 is still in play for them. But USC, if they lose those 3 commits, they go to like number 30. Like it's not still a top 5. Like they have no shot at a top 5 class. Absolutely no shot.
Yeah.
Um, I don't I truly believe that they will decommit from USC, but they haven't yet, and that is just kind of a hunch on my part. But I have talked to people. They're closer to A&M, and they think it's over. They think Nelson's headed to A&M, which
That
means
is
Lemon and Branch are also gone. Branch is more likely to flip regardless, but I think they're going to take more visits. I think they both end up going to Bama, and I don't think he's the only 5-star that flips.
that's insane to me that we've gone from Nelson being US. I mean, he's in their backyard to
He
one.
was willing to come to OU to come out of his backyard only to play for Riley.
That's what I'm saying.
Riley has never wanted one quarterback more than him.
And he's gonna lose them. That is nuts to me. It's
Lincoln,
nuts.
the Manning camp called OU 6 times to try and get Lincoln to offer or recruit Arch. He refused to because he wanted Malachi. He got Malachi, and it came out in the news that had happened. And then the Manning camp called OU and said, "Please take that report down. We don't want to look bad." Like that's absolutely happened. So with that, this Malachi's his guy. If he loses Malachi, he has not built a relationship with a single other quarterback. Hasn't offered one.
Tank. Yep. Adam, I got this from there was some ad on Instagram like 2 years ago that I saw, and this popped up, and I was like, "Yep, grabbing that one." And then the one I wore, I think we're talking about the one I wore yesterday on Locked On Sooners. I just got that from Norman, so you can find that OU swag anywhere. I'm not the only one. Um, Here's one. Hey, Travis, the last show you had mentioned to look out for decommit was Keon Keeley the name that you had us on watch for? And do you think we have any chance at him with Bama and Florida?
Yes, that is who I was talking about. And no, he's going to Bama.
Yeah. What are y'all thinking on Dylan Gabriel expectations?
USC cannot match the money. First of all, USC's NIL deals are in shambles right now. But I think 3,500 yards, I think, is about safe. Good good completion percentage, probably around 65-70% completion percentage. Yeah, I think he's going to be great in this offense. He's been great in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
Now he gets to do it with NFL receivers and an NFL offensive line. Like, that's a big difference.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I expect him to do really well. He knows the system super well. He's got to work on timing in game, probably a little bit first couple of weeks, but that's what those are for. So,
Yeah.
looking forward to him having a big
Luckily,
year.
he's been, unlike Carolina, he's been and unlike Texas, and unlike TCU, and
Yep.
unlike A&M, and unlike LSU, and unlike, again, you can name him forever, he's been clearly
Undisputed.
the starter. So he gets every rep he wants with the ones.
Yeah.
It's not split. It's all ones. So, yes, big time expectations.
Saucehouse Josh asks, what do you think Levy will do on fourth down and field goal range? If it's more than a yard, will he be like Kiffin and go for it or take the points, generally speaking?
I think it depends. I mean, there's so many factors in this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're up big, you can play field position game, or just take some points. Or it depends on how the offensive line's playing. It depends when in the game it is. If it's late in the game and you've got a fresh-legged running back coming in and an offensive line that's been shoving around a defensive line, sure, pick it up.
Yeah.
It's heavily reliant on situational football, I would say. But I think he will go for it a decent amount.
Do you think Gentry Williams, I'm assuming, will see any significant playing time?
I guess it depends on your definition of significant. I don't think I think he'll largely be corner, and corner's really deep. So I don't think that he'll see a lot of playing time. I think when you're looking at the freshman, I think you look at more of an RSJ to get some playing time because safety depth is absolutely an issue. So I know you didn't ask about RSJ, but I figure I'd include him in the answer. So, but yeah, I don't think Gentry sees a ton simply due to the log jam at corner. That will open up a lot next year. So you got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see some of these freshmen potentially get some minutes this year. I think we'll see them early, obviously, in the first couple of weeks, but it's going to be fun. We're only 17 days away. It's crazy. Already ready for another season. First one under Brent Venables. Trav, you got anything to say before we head out, man?
I don't think so. Obviously, we'll be on before the 26th, so we will be able to talk about the upcoming commits. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. Stormtrooper helmet. I'll get Stormtrooper helmet going next week. It's right here.
I was about to say everybody wants you to put the Stormtrooper helmet on now at the end there. We're gonna have to make that a special sometime.
I've got to hang my flag. I'll show you guys my flag.
Show them the flag. Go ahead.
I gotta hang this bad boy. These will be on sale, I believe, end of this week or early next week. So Sooner Gridiron will put out the link. I'll probably put out the link, but I gotta get this hung so it can be the Oklahoma versus the World Studios.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Yeah, as Cam said, we only got 2 more JP and Trav shows till football. It's exciting.
Till the season. Let's go.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. But, all right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys as always. Thanks for coming in. A lot of you guys in here a little bit later. I know you're watching the boys, Brandon and Parker. So thanks for coming in. Later is better than that at all. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah, for those of you in here knowing that we missed out on a lot of the live, because that show, make sure you guys share this. like, share, subscribe, all those good things.
Do it.
We know we love us some Parker and Brandon, so I won't get on to them too much, but help out by get this circulating a little bit. Thank you all for being in here. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. And we will see you next week, same time, 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, Boomer.